how do you date accordingly? Good morning. Church girls want to get married too. My name is Janice. This is a video request I was supposed to do last night, but the Lord led us another way, okay? But I told you, ladies, I'm going to come back, and I am wearing my unbothered shirt. Yes, it's the same shirt I had on last night, okay? I am wearing my unbothered shirt because we want to be unbothered when we are dating accordingly. Please be sure to subscribe, ladies. I have a lot of you watching my content, and I need more of you to subscribe and thumbs up this video for me. Share it out if you can. And also remember my other channel, Study the Bible in 1 year. A lot of my dating content, 95% of my dating content is from the Bible. It's all in there. Okay, so be sure to check that out. So how do you date accordingly, right? First, especially for my church girls, all women are welcome, but my heart and my passion is for church girls, okay? First, church girls, I need you to understand what dating is. Dating is not what the church have told us for years, right? For years, when I was coming up, I would hear the church say, because Christians don't date. And in my mind, I'm like, well, wait a minute, how am I supposed to get married? How are we supposed to get married if Christians don't date? And then there was a book came out, and then I said, oh, that's what their perception of dating is. The church's perception of dating is having sex, shacking up, having babies, doing everything married people do that you're not supposed to be doing. And that is their concept of dating. Because how are you supposed to marry somebody and not date them? That's what I was thinking. Let me remind you, the last time I checked the statistics, I think when I was working on 23,000 guys, I believe divorce was 51% in the church. 51% in the church. Now, the church is the light of the world. We are supposed to be this example. We are to be Christ in the earth. Yet, in the church, divorce is 51% and 50% in the world. So, in other words, the world is marrying better and staying married better than the church, the example, who is a representation of Christ, the marriage between Christ and the church. So something is not going right in the church. And I really do think they're not dating. Okay, because I'm like, well, how am I supposed to marry him if I don't date him? Okay, you're just supposed to pray, and God is supposed to tell you that's who you're supposed to be married, and that's why divorce is over 50% in the church. Okay, and I know tons of women who have said, God told me Billy was my husband, and 10, 15 years. I know one lady waiting 15 years for God to tell Billy that God told her that he is her husband, and Billy's been married 2 times already. Okay, when I was coming up in the church, I know there's one girl, they were, college sweethearts, they neighborhood church kids, college sweetheart. She said, God told me that's my wife. That's my husband. Well, he went out the church and married somebody else's child. It was hell to pay in the church. Everybody took sides. They hated the new wife when he brought her to the church. And I was like, I was one of the only women that talked to her. Because when he brought the wife to the church, everybody was mad because, no, she's been here forever and she loves you and you should have married her. And he ended up leaving the church and moving all the way down to South Jersey. He took his wife and left the church, moved all the way down to South Jersey. Why? Because the church was all up in their business saying, that's who he was supposed to marry. No, it's not. A wife is a choice. He that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtain favor from the Lord. And he could find 10 women, but which woman is the woman he is willing to die for, ladies? This is why we do not force men to marry us. We don't force men to love us. We don't force men to be with us. We don't try to trap men in having babies, because a husband must die for his wife. The perfect example of marriage is the marriage between Christ and the church. What did Christ do for the church? He died for her. And so, ladies, you need your man to die for you. And you're telling him, Billy, I need you to love me. Billy, I need you to marry me. Billy, I need you to die for me. Billy, I need you to get up and go work 12, 14 hours a day to take care of me. Billy, I need you to pay all these bills around here. Billy, and I need you to do all these stuff for me. Billy, and Billy don't even like you. Many women are married to men that don't like you, and that's why your marriage is hell on earth. That is why you are the naked wife, because you forced Billy to marry you, and you're not supposed to be Billy's wife. And you know, back in the days, in my mama's days and our grandmama's days, when mama they got married, get pregnant, back then the church would have a shotgun wedding, and he would have to end up marrying her. And I think the brothers are waking up to that mess right now. I'm glad about it. And ladies, this is why you need to keep your legs closed. And I've had to block a couple of friends. I've been friends with them on Facebook since Facebook came out. For years, I've had to block some of them because they said, Janice, you always talk about women keeping their legs closed, but you never talk about the men about whatever. I say, let me tell you why I stay on my sisters, because that man will come and get his it scratched, or like my daddy say, use the toilet in you. Get up, leave you, and go marry another woman and take care of her and all her kids and leave you and your babies. And so this is why, ladies, in my new book coming out about not wasting time with boyfriends, I talk about protecting your eggs. You've got to protect your eggs, baby. And in this day and time, you know, you shouldn't be getting pregnant unless you want to. Okay, now you all know I have Lexi at 16, because I know some angry, sensitive woman is going to come on here. So let me hold the book up, okay? I had my baby at 16. My father in the faith pulled me to the side and said, girl, don't even go down that road. If you want you a good husband, don't have any more. Okay, and I got married when I was 35 to a good man who provides for me, who protect me, who bought me this big old house. And he told me, he said, I have never met a woman that I have wanted to do all that I'm doing for you for. Never. My husband married me, didn't even ask me how much money I made. You know when my husband knew how much I made? The following year when we was doing taxes, because my money didn't matter. He got it. He said, I got this. Girl, put that in. What you do? Somebody say this. Little man. That's what you want, somebody who loves you enough to die for you. And so how do you date accordingly? I got this comment on here, and you know, I read it a couple of times. I said, that's a good comment. Okay. Dating, let me find the comment. She said, JLLJ, she said, you lost me on dating to get data. LOL, you quoted the Bible throughout. Please tell me where God speak about dating. We must rely on God more for everything, especially a husband. LOL, loving your video presentation. Dating, the word dating is not in the Bible, but the concept of dating is. And so what is dating? I want you ladies to divorce your mind from everything you know about dating. Thank you. Thank you. Dating, simply put, is to gather data. That's it. So that, and I add, so that you can make an informed decision. All right? Perfect example I give you. And in my new book coming out, I talk about the presidential candidates, right? But I'm going to use this example. Let's say you have a job position. You're a business owner. You have a job position to fill. And you post the job on Facebook, wherever. 10 people apply. How do you get those 10 people down to the one person who is the best person for this job? That's what dating is, ladies. That's it. It is not it's not giving the person a job. It's not letting him sign up all those insurance papers and all those doctor's papers, and you give everybody a job and say sign up all. No. You interview them, and you get all 10 down to 5, the 5 down to 3, and you get the 3 down to 1. That's what dating is. The problem is, ladies, you meet one man and you put all your marital hopes in him, all your marital dreams in him. That's your baby daddy. We go and get married. God say that's my husband. And then you start giving up the cookie, and then a year later you find out he don't even want to get married, and next thing you know you have a baby. And even though he has told you he don't want to get married, you still waiting there popping babies out year after year when you go marry me. And see, you should have found that out in the dating stage. It's the gathering the data. It is knowing what you want in a husband and date accordingly. And I know I'm going to do a video on the list for all the people who say you don't believe in lists. We all have a list. Let me tell you why we all have a list. You want a man, you want to be married, right? You want him to be saved or unsaved? I want him to be saved. Okay. Number 1 on your list, saved. Okay. You want him to have a job so he can take care of you, or are you going to take care of him? Because you know some men are looking for women to be taken. Nah, girl, I need him to have a job. Okay. So he got to be saved, and you need him to have a job. So that's 2 things on your list. Okay. So you want a man that's saved. You want a man to have a job. So if you meet a man that's not saved, that likes you, and your panties start to get sweaty, what you need to do, you walk away, because you need a man, a husband that is saved. That's what dating is. You meet one man that's saved, you meet one man that's not saved. Get rid of the one that's not saved. Bye. Okay. He's saved. So you meet another. Do you have a job? No, he ain't got no job. Okay, he's saved, but he ain't got no job. Drop it, move along. And so dating, gathering data is knowing what you want in a husband. Just like that job position that you have available, you need somebody who's going to fill the position. Okay, if you need an editor, let's use an editor for me, because you know I am a writer. If I need an editor, I don't need a mechanic. I don't have a car to fix. I need somebody who is knowledgeable in editing and is up to date in all the editing rules and changes that can correctly edit my book so I can send it to print. Don't come back telling me, oh, I'm a mechanic. Well, I ain't got nothing to do with you. I don't need a mechanic. I need an editor. So, ladies, I have a list. I'm going to do a video on the list, but let me run my 4 things. My top 4 was, number 1, had to be a believer. Do you know how many men I met that was not saved, who was spiritual? Oh, you know what? You can get me saved. My daddy already told me about that. Men is going to come up to you. They're going to want you to talk to them about Jesus. Here's my telephone number. Send them to me. That's what I did. Oh, you're not saying, oh, call my daddy. I don't got time. Number 2, he had to be a tither. Why? Because when I was coming up in the church, I see so many women, you know, the women who had the shotgun weddings, who was forcing the men to marry them. And the only time that man has been to church was when they got married. And the next time he's going to be there is when he died. That's what happened when you have shotgun wedding, when you open up your legs to men who's not supposed to be back there. The only man, church girls I'm talking to, church girls you're supposed to open up your legs to is the one you're married to. Church girls I'm talking to, church girls, okay? Born again, tither. So if I met a man who was born again, and overall attraction is important, okay? He needs to be somebody who you're like, ooh, child, girl, ooh. Okay? You need to have that, okay? I met Miles, I was like, ooh, I want to talk to him again. Yes. But if I meet somebody like, I was like, ew, okay. Save, tither. Number 3, a gentleman. My father in the fifth pastoral was a gentleman. So if you meet a man, if I met a man that was saved, a tither, but not a gentleman, because you know there's a lot of men in the church that's not gentlemen. I went on a guy with 19. My dad said, listen, what my dad said, go out with him and see how he treats you. So we had it was 1921. We ain't got no car. He called a cab. He got in the cab. Me and Lexi was still standing outside. We got to the restaurant. He jumped out the cab. Me and Lexi was still in the cab. He was in the restaurant. Me and Lexi was still getting out the restaurant. Guess what? I never went out with him again. You know why? Because he's not a gentleman. Now, some of you desperate pick-me-shas, foolish women, get the Bible, Janice, get the Bible, foolish women. What's that? Oh, I could teach it to be a gentleman. You a man? You're a gentleman. You know how to teach a man how to be a man. Okay? Drop by. We don't have nothing. Goodbye. Because he's not in accordance to what I want. Born again, tither, gentlemen. For those of you who likes to call me a gold digger, I have yet to mention money, okay? Number 4, he had to have a good job. Good job. My daddy told me the least a man can do is put a roof over your head and food on your table. So if I met a man that was saved, tither, gentleman, did not have a job, in between job, can't keep a job, guess what I did? Bye. We ain't got nothing to talk about. Because you're not in accordance to what, oh, but you can help him to get a job. When you help him get a job, he's going to leave you, okay? Stop trying to be a mama to these men. If their mama didn't mother them, that is not your responsibility to mother them. You need to know what you want. Do you want a husband that's going to provide completely for you? Or are you okay with 50-50? I'm all for what you want now. What I want is different from what you want. I want a husband that could provide totally for me, independent of me. That I work. I always say I want a husband. I work because I wanted to, not because I have to pay this mortgage. Okay, I've been home since March because of the COVID. The job sent us home. They gave us a couple of weeks. I've been on leave. We haven't missed a beat, and he hasn't looked at me. Okay. So you need to know, in order for you to date accordingly, ladies, you need to know what you want. And I can help you to zero in on what you want. Because some of y'all have this list for 100. You don't remember that. You can't remember 100. 10 fingers of both negotiables and non-negotiables of what you want in a marriage, in a husband. And the reason why you have negotiables is because none of us is perfect. One of my negotiables was a man with kid. I had a kid. So if I met a nice man with a child that was around Alexia's age or younger, I could, negotiate. Okay, do I want to marry him? Do I not want to marry him? Now, my preference was a man that never been married and had no kids. But if I met a man who had a kid, I could talk to him and kind of, and kind of see. So you need to have those things where, if he's this, he's that, then, you could kind of work it out. It's not all about, he got to have all these 10 things. What are the things you're willing to negotiate on? Okay. Do you want to, are you open to men that's been divorced, especially you older ladies? You might have to open up to men that was divorced. Now, I didn't want a man that was divorced. I was a preacher. Y'all know how they treat you when you're married to a divorcee, if you're a divorcee or you're married to a divorced man. And I just didn't want to have that shadow, okay? My preference was a man that's never been married or had kids. And thank God the Lord answered my prayer. My husband's never been married or had any kids. My little boy's his first child. So in order for you to date accordingly, you need to know what it is you want in a husband. If you don't know what you want, how can you date? How can you gather data? Okay, how do you know you have him when you don't know if he's him? Do not get emotionally involved. Stop getting emotionally involved with these men. Stop meeting these men, Pookie, and say, Pookie is my husband. You don't have enough data. You don't have enough information on Pookie to say Pookie is your husband. And what you need is data. You need the information. But information on what? If you don't know what you want, how do you know Pookie is your husband? Pookie ain't got no job. You want a man that has a job. And ladies, COVID, this is a perfect time for you today in COVID. It's when it comes about finances, because this is a perfect time to see how he planned. Did he plan for emergencies? Okay. This is a perfect opportunity, ladies, for the man you're dating to show you his leadership skills, because leaders plan ahead. Leaders think ahead and see the danger and plan ahead So when this stuff hit the fan, guess what? You're in your house, you're okay, you ain't worrying. Your bills are being paid, your kids are okay, y'all is eating, and you're not worrying, because a shepherd, in my book, The Naked Wife, a shepherd plans ahead. So in your dating and you're talking to this man, you need to be paying attention to his leadership skills. If his plan, if he loses his job, is unemployment, you need to leave him alone, because he's not a leader. Do we all get unemployment? We get laid off through no fault of our own. Yes, but that should not be his first response to the emergency of no income. It should be, I have an emergency fund, we have savings, and so on and so forth. And so then the unemployment is just a little is a little bit icing on the cake. But he needs the cake. Okay, ladies. So that's a portion of what it means to date accordingly. You can pick up my book on Amazon, 23 Types of Guys You Might Meet. I'm changing the social media because you know the church folks is freaked out about the social media part, okay? 23 types of men you might meet. Stop meeting one man and making him your king, King, okay? Y'all with this bull crap talking. Oh, that's my king. He don't even got no kingdom. He don't even have a house, a pot to pee in, or a window to throw it out, but you're making him your king. All right, ladies, I love you, okay? I know some of the stuff I say could, but you know, some of you know what y'all, some of you ladies need a shock to your system, okay? And I'm trying to develop my mentorship classes and stuff like that, because some of you ladies need to be shocked. You need a shock in your system. That's what you need. Email me, JaniceHyltonBlog@gmail, or on my blog, www.JaniceHyltonBlog, okay? And of course, you can leave me a message here, and I'll always come back and comment. Let me know what you think, ladies. Have you been dating accordingly? Or are you taking a man and trying to make him what you want him? Don't do that, girl. Don't do that. All right, I got to go. I love y'all. I love you. Thumbs up. And remember, my books on Amazon or on my blog. Bye, guys. Love you.